I'm going to attempt to beat the ultimate challenge in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet using only shiny Pokemon. But wait, there's a twist. I'll be locked in each of the 5 areas of the game, only allowed to progress on to the next once I find a shiny. When I've collected my 5 shinies from each, I'll proceed the adventure around the region until that final member finally shines. No mass outbreaks, no sandwiches, strictly shiny Charmods. From there, I'll train up my shiny team of misfits and put them through the ultimate challenge. Will I be able to withstand the heat, or will I fall faster than a ton of Snorlaxes? It's time to find out. The South Province is one of the most expansive areas of the game, and the area where you begin your story. So, it only makes sense to begin ours here too. With a ton of different regions locked down within the South Province of the map, it can be difficult to know where to begin, and what kind of Pokemon you want to hunt for. So, I took to roaming around the area, looking for a place to settle down, and it wasn't long before travesty struck. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you just missed a shiny Hoppip. Did I? No, I didn't. No, I did. No, there's no way that I did. I am not that dumb. Am I? I am not dumb, let's be honest. Okay. Where did I miss it? I swear to Lord, if you lot are trolling, man. I don't think I missed one. I'm fairly confident I didn't. Apparently, it's on the left. Oh! It was only 8 minutes into stream, and this area could have already been wrapped up. But to bury my sorrow, I chugged a lot of caffeine to wake myself up, and continued on to try find a new area which I would be happy to hunt in. This is when I decided on the area just outside Alfornada. Not only with the Pokemon already at high level, meaning less training later on, but there's also some amazing targets that I could find here, including Flaffy, Galliard, Mudsteel, Go-Goat, and from all these options, I found Psyduck. Never mind! Apparently all you have to do is threaten to do something else. Not the best Pokemon strength-wise, however, it is a pretty amazing shiny. And as such, Duck was added to the team, and we brought a swift end to the South Province. Despite having one of the more visually appealing areas of the game, the East Province area is actually rather small, and as such, doesn't have a lot of variety to hunt for, making deciding where I would hunt for one of the more crucial decisions of the playthrough. I tried the stunning beach of South Lavencia, however, already having a water type on the team, I didn't want to take the risk of duping up on a type, so instead, I ventured over to the quarry and the Tag Tree Thicket to see if any hunts caught my eye. Unfortunately, when it turns night in-game, it can make a lot of Pokemon sprites hard to determine. And not wanting another Hoppip situation, this rolled out these areas also, leaving us with only the open plains of North Artisan. And despite me being so picky about my hunt, the cosmic karma gods took pity on me and gifted me with yet another extremely quick shiny. That's shiny! Dude, that's freak. I was literally in chat. I was about to ask, guys. I know what color Shroodle's shiny or eyes turn, but what does the rest of its body turn? I know Grafaiai kind of turns pale, though. I would like to get it in the Premier Ball. I personally think Grafaiai is actually one of the better shiny forms from this generation, and so I was extremely happy to add Shelby to the team and move on to the next area of the game. The North Province is easily the largest area of Paldea, depending on what you include as north of the map, and as such has the largest pool of Pokemon to hunt for. Despite all of these amazing potential areas to hunt and targets to find, I knew there was only really one area I wanted to settle down in, and ironically enough, it's probably the smallest area in the entire North region. It was, of course, the Bamboo Forest just outside of the Fighting type Team Starbase. This was home to my favourite new Paldean Pokemon, and to find it shiny and added to my roster was a dream. But if it didn't work out, there were still a plethora of other amazing targets to hunt for also, including the ranks of Arcanine, Dratini, Dracolock, Heracross, Scyther, and of course, the ever iconic Luxray. And as fate would have it, it was only a matter of time before something truly amazing shined. Oh! Why, whenever I was saying that? I'm a raw XD kid, dude. Oh my god, we got the clip. With the amazing Scara added to my team, my roster was beginning to look rather impressive. It was beginning to look a lot like this challenge was obtainable after all. Moving into the final core area of the game, it was important to pick up some coverage for the team, so With no real ground types, I decided it only made sense to settle in the area in which they were most plentiful, the Asado Desert. This was predominantly an area that I largely avoided during my playthrough, with desert areas in most Pokemon games typically being my least favourite regions. Little did I know, however, I was overlooking a goldmine of awesome shiny Pokemon. The adorable and fantastic Earthworm, the proud and stunning Braviary, and even the new fan favourite Lolly can be found in this desert over by the ruins. There was one shiny above all the rest that I did want to find, however. It was my favourite little crocodile, all the way back from Gen 5, Sandile. In this game, it even hides under the sand, leaving its eyes protruding, making it even more adorable. I was determined to find my best boy, but with all the amazing spawns in this area, I would have pretty much settled for anything. Unlike with King Gambit, however, this time it was meant to be. That's the shiny! That's 100% the shiny, dude. There it freaking is, man. Holy sheesh. What did I say earlier, man? I've wanted a shiny Sandile from before I can freaking remember, dude. I've never got a chance to hunt it. I found my favorite croc, and just like in Crocodile Dundee 17, I swooped her up and added Jaws to the team. We're fighting a crucial dark and ground type that would also bring an end to the core 4 areas of the game. We haven't had it for very long. However, I can confidently say Area 0 is one of my all-time favorite areas in any Pokemon game. From its incredibly eerie atmosphere to the awesome soundtrack, this area has stolen my heart, and I was incredibly happy to finally be able to hunt in here. Instead of focusing on one area in particular, I decided to ride all the way up to the top of the area, down to its depths, and back up again. Again, there's just so many awesome shinies from this area that I would have been overjoyed to find any of them. And given my love for this area, I wouldn't have been mad if this hunt was my longest yet, but the contrary would happen. You're freaking kidding me! I guess that answers it, huh? What? I'm in shock! Well, that did, dude. Quick catch straight away too, man. There we go. And I kill it. Love that, JT. I was just gonna say, man, this is such a fun area to hunt in. I don't mind if it takes a little while. Psyduck's evolving. In only one rotation of the area, Todd was both found and added to the team. This may seem like a disappointing find, however, with its high base stat total and flip turn serving the same use as U-turn, Todd could be extremely useful for utility. And as this hunt drew to a close, it left us with only one team member left to find. With only one Pokemon left to add to the team, I took to roaming around the region, following the paths all around the map. First back to Medali, then back to the Asado Desert and the South Province. But in a fitting and poetic way to end the hunt, all the way back where the journey first began, and we managed to capture Duck, this happened. Oh, you're freaking kidding me! There was no way, dude. Yeah, just you come to me, bro. That's shiny number 6, baby. That's the team. 4 shinies today, JT. 4, homie. 4 full odds. I've never owned a Go-Go before. It does kind of look like Loki. I have never owned a full odd shiny Go-Go before. I've never owned a shiny Go-Go before. Just like to remind everybody, I am not using sandwich boosts. Any sandwich boosts. I'm gonna have fun bleeping that later in the edit. I was a little bit excited, mostly because this is now the 4th full odd shiny that we had found in the span of 4 hours. And just as quickly as that, I had completed my team of ragtag misfits and was ready to tackle whatever the final challenge I had left to throw at us. With the team finalized, there was only one thing left to complete, the Ace Trainer Tournament. This tournament is a post-game only event that I'm sure most players breeze through upon completion of the base game. However, I wouldn't be challenging it in the traditional sense. Instead, I'm adding a few extra rules to make things a little more fun. Firstly, I'll be imposing a level cap of 70. This is because this is the highest level of most trainers' Pokemon within the tournament, and I don't want to just breeze through the challenge. Secondly, in a similar fashion to a Nuzlocke, I'll be making it so that if any Pokemon faint during the tournament, they can no longer be used throughout it. This will make it so I have to think carefully about my decisions, instead of recklessly diving into every fight. But with that in mind, let's actually check out how the fights went. Firstly, beginning with Professor Jock, who actually has a pretty well-rounded team. He leads with an Arcanine, which is a little less than fortunate for us, due to its Intimidate, but I opted to lead with Todd for all of these fights. With its awesome utility and flip turn, allowing us to rotate into any Pokemon that we want. And so, out comes Jaws, which unfortunately took a super effective close combat. However, the special defense drop allows Arcanine to go down to a simple Earthquake. His Mudsdale came out next, and with it being primarily a physical attacker, I sent in Duck, who makes use of its awesome new move, Chilling Water, doing a good chunk of health, whilst getting a guaranteed attack lower on Mudsdale, which pretty much sealed the deal. Shelby got a chance to shine next, but not for very long, as it manages to one-shot the Lurantis with one Gunk Shot. Slowbro came out, meaning it was now Scarra's turn, which was also one-shot as well, along with the following Swallow. This gave Jaws the crucial Moxie boost needed in order to one-shot Jock's Terra for Rigiwrath, which, if it wasn't for a necessary outspeed, we could have easily have lost Jaws. Whilst it might have seemed we breezed through Jock's team, it was more like ours outmatched his very well. I wouldn't have the same luck tree going into our next fight, however, against Dendra, who, instead of going for a balanced team, possesses mainly fighting types. A type our team struggles against a lot, but regardless, I get a good flip turn off with Todd into Scarra, who gets a Vital Intimidate off on the Phalanx. Due to its low speed stat, however, Scarra gets hit with another close combat before she can get off a discharge, which did put down the Phalanx, but also reduces her health, ultimately rendering her useless for the rest of the battle. And so, Duck came in against Dendra's Tauros. Whilst I considered going for a Hail Mary Hydro Pump, I instead played safe with a Chilling Water, which still ultimately goes after Tauros' special defense drop. Metachan was up next, so I opted to get off a little bit of chip damage with Shelby, before baiting Dendra into using a Psychic type move against Jaws, which was ultimately nullified, who then gets another fantastic KO under her belt. Her second Tauros comes out, which is easily one-shot with Todd's Freeze Dry, but we still had to face Dendra's scariest Pokemon in her Terra Pokemon, Hariyama. I was faced with a difficult decision, as I knew at least one of my Pokemon had to take a hit in order to get the defense drop as a result of close combat, and as such, Duck stepped up to the plate and returned shortly thereafter, resulting in our first loss of the run so far. Loki then made their first appearance of the tournament and led with a Vital KO. That was a little bit more difficult, but as sad as it was to lose Duck, the fight could have been far worse considering. And so, next up was Rhyford, who was our most challenging foe yet. Well, okay, maybe her Zoroark wasn't too scary, but I now had the vital information that her Gengar was her final Pokemon, and to be honest, most of her following Pokemon really weren't that challenging either, until I ultimately got to her Scizor. Knowing Gengar was in the back, and now boosted from Moxie, I decided to leave Jaws in. I Terastallized, which probably actually saved me from the X-Scissor. However, I was still reasonably low on health by the time I took it out, which vitally left me open to a stab Shadow Ball from her Gengar. My greed got the better of me, and Scarra, being the least vulnerable type-wise, stepped up, and despite getting a solid chunk of damage off, ultimately succumbed to her own Life Orb. This did allow Shelby to come in and outspeed, getting the KO with Knockoff, but at this point, I had lost half my team. I would require an awful lot of luck to get through this final fight. And that luck ultimately came in the form of Clavel, easily the best matchup I could have received out of the three, but I still had a long way to go. And that task was made a little bit easier by Todd, getting off a strong Ice Beam and Flip Turn combo off into Loki, who manages to take down Clavel's Oranguru. Shelby then came out against Abomasnow, that lands a huge Gunk Shot and U-turn combo in order to take it out. Gyarados was next, and Todd stepped in to take the battle level with a huge quad effective Freeze Dry. Houndoom was a scary matchup on paper, however, Shelby and Todd took turns switching in, ultimately giving us the lead in the fight. Poltergeist wasn't much of a matchup either, however, did manage to make Todd succumb to his burn. 07 little bud, you were vital during this tournament. Unfortunately, Shelby was quick to follow, as she got outsped whilst trying to land a potentially crucial Gunk Shot, but thankfully, I had saved my Terra, and it was now my final Pokemon versus his. And how poetic that it was also the final shiny of the playthrough. Loki Terastallized and gets off a huge Horn Leech, which keeps me in play, and although Meowscarra's looks like it's about to finish me off, the AI does possibly the most Pokemon thing in existence, hitting Loki with a grass type move, boosting its Sap Sipper, and giving him the power that he needed in order to finish this playthrough. And that concludes today's video. But before you click off, if you enjoyed, consider hitting that like button. It makes the world of a difference. I have lots of fun challenges in a similar fashion to this one coming in 2023, so consider subscribing also. And if you enjoyed this challenge, consider checking out my shiny only playthrough of Pokemon Legends Arceus. It was a ton of fun to complete and is one of the most popular videos on the channel.